Yo, yo, yo. Shit, hold on. How y'all doing? Oh, man. Another day at work, y'all. Another day at work. Hold on. I gotta check something. Yo. Another day down. Down for the crown. How y'all doing this morning? This afternoon, this evening, wherever you're in the world. This is Terrence Bain. Welcome to the definition of anarchy. You know what I'm saying? Snapzilla Gorilla. Snapzilla the Outlaw. Whatever you want to call me. It's all good. Man. These tyrants going to tyrant, ain't they? These tyrants going to tyrant. These people, I'm going to tell you something, man. Last year, the Delta 19 gave these people the capability to behave as tyrants for the good of public safety. All right. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come up in here. All right. Help your boy out. Help your boy with the micro algorithm. Help your boy out. You know, these people are so itching to control you. They are so ready to control you. They want to, implement these measures, those measures, this mandate, that mandate, this face flag mandate, that face flag mandate, that Vaseline mandate, this Vaseline mandate. In California, they just made it mandatory to wear face flags indoors again, like regardless of whether or not you're Vaseline. It's just pretty wild, man. Well, it's like, what's the point of getting Vaseline? What's the point if they're still going to make you do the things they're going to make you do if you're not Vaseline? What's the point? The point is control. And this is what they're doing in Europe. What they're trying to do in the European Union. This is like, this is the icing on the cake, y'all. This really takes it. These people are so desperate to control what goes in your body. And I'm talking about the European Union leaders, right? There are multiple European Union leaders. This is kind of like breaking news, man, because this is my first time hearing about this. This is not getting around too far and wide. These people want to remove the Nuremberg codes so that they can force people to take the Vaseline. I'm going to repeat that. They want to get rid of the Nuremberg code so they can, guess what? Force people to get the Vaseline. Now, what is the Nuremberg code? What are the Nuremberg trials? Well, the Nuremberg code is based on the Nuremberg trials. The Nuremberg trials had to do with a lot of shit, right? That led to that was going on World War II. A lot of it having to do with, Nazis and the guy with the mustache. What's his name? Hitler. It had a lot to do with Hitler and his scientists, Nazi scientists, performing scientific experiments on people against their will, forcing them to ingest chemicals, forcing them to ingest biological agents to test for, weapons of war, basically. Testing bioweapons on people, testing chemical weapons on people. It had a lot to do with the gas chambers. It had a lot to do with, there were Nazi soldiers who wanted to escape responsibility for throwing people in gas chambers, and they were involved in the Nuremberg trials, and they ended up having to reap the whirlwind, basically, for their part in that shit. Even if they didn't put them in the gas chambers, Guess what? You threw them in the camps. Anybody involved in any of that shit, the Nuremberg trials ensured that these people, got justice. Except some scientists were sent to America to perform experiments. You know what I'm saying? That was a lot of the scientists. That was a lot of their punishment, to be relocated to the United States and basically given a better life. But they had to perform experiments over here. But that's another story. It's called Operation Paperclip. But that's another one, right? Operation Paperclip. But look at here. Looka. And what did the Nuremberg Code do? It ensured that it basically put in place an accord to ensure that governments cannot force people to be forced chemicals, forced injections, forced experiments, forced medications. This is what's stopping them from basically forcing the Vaseline on the people, right? They can declare an emergency and kind of like do it in a certain way. I know Germany is trying to say that everyone has to get Vaseline, but they're really hitting a lot of roadblocks because of the Nuremberg Code. Well, they want to get rid of that so that they can force the Vaseline on people. Well, the Nuremberg Accord is in place so that the government doesn't abuse their power and force chemicals and biological agents and whatever on human beings that don't want it. It doesn't matter if that chemical, that biological agent, that Vaseline, that medical treatment, it involves all that. Anything that is created in a lab that these people want to force people to ingest or to get shot into them, they cannot force that on them. That is what the Nuremberg Code is for. That's what stops them from doing that. Not, at the end of the day, it's a paper tiger, right? They're going to do what they want to do anyway. It's just that this shit is in place so that they can be called on it, right? It's basically like begging for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. Well, now they're asking for permission because too many people are making a big stink out of it. How dare the people not want their government to force a specific medication on them that they don't want? Look, the nerve of these people. Don't they know that? Don't you know the government's trying to help you? They're trying to ensure your safety. They're trying to ensure your health. So they have to put this shit inside of you so that they can ensure your health. Never mind what your misgivings, your whatever reservations you have. Fuck all that. It's for your good. It's for your own good. So shut the fuck up. Roll up your sleeve and be prepared to get injected. That's what these people want. That's why they want to get rid of the Nuremberg Code, so that there's nothing to be held against them. So that the United States or whoever calls them out can't say, look, you violated the Nuremberg Code. Now you have to get sanctioned on this. You got to play this fine. You got to do this. You got to go to. Listen, those guys who were found guilty during the Nuremberg trials, they got fucking executed. Okay. Do you understand the gravity of this shit? That is what's supposed to happen to tyrants. Tyrants are supposed to be. Let me tell y'all. Look, YouTube. Any of the government. Look, I'm talking about tyrants, right? In Call of Duty, tyrants get executed. Violations. Pay attention to that. Human rights violations. They are to be what? Executed. What is the penalty for treason? Summary execution. Summary, that means that it's quick as fuck. Ain't no motherfucking 25 years, 10 years, 4 years before you get executed. It's a summary execution. That is the penalty for treason. And when you commit tyranny by performing human rights violations, by trying to force people to get injected with something that they don't want to get injected with, that is treason. You are committing treason against the people you have sworn to protect and defend, whose constitution you swore to protect and defend. So now these motherfuckers are trying to get rid of the Nuremberg Code so that they can go ahead and commit tyranny without being held responsible for it. Do you understand how crazy these people are? They're fucking nuts. They want to take you. They want to hold you down. And I'm explaining to you what this dumbass Alan Dershowitz said, right? Y'all know who that is. He's a one-time lawyer. At one point, he was a lawyer for Jeffrey Epstein, right? Alan Dershowitz. Now, the fact that he was the attorney of Jeffrey Epstein, that shouldn't hold any weight to his position on forced Vaselines. But it can speak to his character, right? It can speak to his character. Not necessarily whether or not saying that, well, because he was Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer, that means, well, I can see him saying some dumb shit about forced Vaselines. He's for forced Vaselines, by the way. He feels like the government has the capability and the right to take you against your will, put you in the hospital, hold you down, and inject you with a needle and put some shit up in you that you may not necessarily want. And you know you don't want it because they have to force you to do it. He is somebody that feels like the government has the right to snatch you up and do that. That is the type of person this dude is. He wouldn't have any problem with doing away with the Nuremberg Code so that the European Union can do that to their citizens. And by the way, this is somebody, Alan Dershowitz, all right? Alan Dershowitz, attorney to a freaking pedophile who ran a sex trafficking ring on his little island and had God knows how many people in the elite stratosphere involved in it. This is somebody that the amazing idiot Lucas uses as a reference when he says that people can be forced to get the Vaseline. The amazing idiot Lucas believes that the government can force you to get the Vaseline because Alan Dershowitz said so. Okay? But again, this is the same guy who said Alec Baldwin is now responsible for killing that woman on the set because actors aren't responsible for gun safety on a movie set. He's an idiot. But anyway, let's move on. The Nuremberg, listen, this has huge implications. If they get rid of the Nuremberg Code, if they eradicate it, right? They're calling for a vote to end the Nuremberg Code so that they can force the Vaseline on the people. Okay, so they get rid of that, right? Well, the Nuremberg Code does not just cover forced Vaselines. It covers chemicals, all that shit. Human testing that people don't want to have. Like, they'll be able to sneak shit in your water to determine what it might do to a human being if that was the delivery system. They can do all this shit. And governments have been known to do this for decades, for centuries. Testing shit on their own people against their knowledge or against their will. Where else do we know about this? Huh? Tuskegee experiment? I would like to question whether or not some of those Nazi scientists were involved in the Tuskegee experiment, but that's something I have to research. But if they end the Nuremberg Code just so that they can slip an experimental treatment for a disease that has a 99.999% survival rate and whose latest variant is the weakest thus far and is so mild that they don't even want to consider creating a Vaseline for it. But this variant is the excuse that they're using to implement more tyranny. You understand what I'm saying? They're using this weak ass variant to force for indoor face flag mandates, to try to end the Nuremberg codes, to increase the way that they can implement Vaseline mandates. Look what they're doing in New York. He tried to say that every business in New York, including private businesses, had to require the Vaseline for the workers to come to work, point blank in the period. That's what he tried, based on the oh my God variant. Based on the oh my God variant, which, if you look at the data coming out of South Africa, ain't shit, and it's been there for weeks. They've had more than enough time to collect more than enough data to determine that this shit is the weakest one, and this might be the end of the pandemic. This variant might create damn near it spreads so fast that the people reach herd immunity, but it spreads so fast, but it's so fucking weak, you may not even know you have it. And guess what? The original Modelo 19, the Alpha, that was relatively weak as well, because a lot more people had it than a lot more people had it and didn't know it than there were that people. So a lot more people who had it and didn't know it. There were more of those than those who had it and didn't know it. Understand? It was, so they're testing the feces in the sewer system. They're testing the wastewater to determine how many people might actually have had Modelo 19. Those are the measures they have to take. Because if you're not feeling sick, and you don't have to get tested, you're not being required to be tested at your job, or you're not being required to be tested to go to work, or to go to your work, or you're not being required to be tested to go to the grocery store. You're not being required to be tested to do a lot of shit that you want to do in your life. And you're not feeling symptoms and you're not sick. Why would you get tested? This is with most people who've had Modelo 19. Most people who had it did not fucking know it. Point blank and period. And that's the same shit, but even more so with the oh my God. Okay? The oh my God variant, even more so. People had it, didn't know they had it. I don't know why I didn't get any express lanes. That was retarded. You know what I'm saying? So why are we now trying to end the Nuremberg Code that has been in place, what, since the 40s or the 50s? We're trying to end something that would ensure that your government does not perform, immoral and unethical tests on you, force you to take things that you don't want to take. We're going to end that. You got to be kidding me. Now look, these people, they try to say, oh, well, we don't follow the science. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. All this, that, and third. But everything that we said, people like me, right, in the truthosphere, right? All these people in the truthosphere, all these conspiracy theorists, what have we been telling you since the beginning? Since Modelo 19 came out and they told you, 15 days to slow the spread. What did we tell you? We told you what? We told you they're gonna shut down the economy. We told you they were gonna shut down your business. We told you they're gonna try to keep your ass in the house. We told you that they were gonna force the Vaseline, try to force the Vaseline on you. We told you that they're going to cause hellified inflation. It's so simple to see because they're printing money left and right. All this because, and we also told you that not nearly as many people are going to die from this Modelo 19. Not nearly as many people are going to die from it as they said they were going to die. What did it say? 2 million people in a year in America? 2 million people in a year. It's almost been what? It's almost been 2 years, right? Over 20 months. But I don't even think they broke 800,000. And what did they tell you about a lot of these deaths? You don't have to have died from Modelo 19 for it to be a Modelo 19 death. They told you that you could have died from a clear alternate cause. But if you had Modelo 19 at the time of death, then they're going to count that as a Modelo 19 death. That's the only reason we're close to 800,000 deaths. Because they had to cheat. Understand? All these, why are they going so hard for this Modelo 19? When there are worse things out there that, if it spread, would cause a lot more devastation. Why for Modelo 19? Why for this? Is it because they miscalculated? Is it because they thought it was going to be a lot worse, but it wasn't? Is it because, okay, they wanted it to be a lot worse because maybe that was the plan? Maybe the plan was, now I'm talking about a fiction novel, right? I'm going into fiction now. We're talking about a plot for a book that I'm writing. So in this book, they released a gain of function due to, they performed gain of function research on a bat virus. I'm going through the plots and I'm going through the timeline of my novel that I'm writing, my fiction novel. So they performed gain of function research on a bat virus to maybe make it deadly to humans, maybe make it be able to cross over to humans and kill humans or whatever, right? To infect humans, to make them sick. And they thought that it was going to be a lot worse. They thought that this was going to devastate the world. They thought this was probably going to aid in their population control scheme that they got going on in the book, in the novel, the fiction novel that I'm writing. So after gain of function research and all this testing, they released this. They released a virus in a town in China, or in a province in China called Tutan. Okay, the Tutan province in China. So they released it in the Tutan, and there was a research lab that was right down the street from a wet market. So they released it and blamed it on the wet market, and then it started doing its thing, and they thought it was going to be a lot more deadly than it ended up being. It turned out it wasn't so deadly. It didn't even make that many people sick. It turns out a lot of people who got it didn't even know they had it. And so as this is going through, to justify the level of tyranny they were about to foist onto the people, they had to call it novel. Well, we don't know what it's going to do. We don't know what the incubation period is. We don't know how sick it's going to make you. We don't know this. We don't know that. I have no idea. So we have to take all these measures to ensure that people don't die or whatever. Oh, we got to wear a face flag. We got to social distance. All this, I'm just talking about this novel that I'm writing, this fiction novel. We got to social distance. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to, we got to, this is just something we got to do. We got to implement curfews because, that's when the thing really gets going. After 8 o'clock, that shit really gets floating around and spreading. And then this doctor, Anthony Fauci, from the novel, they use him. He's the media darling. He's the one who's pushing the narrative, and everybody loves this guy, because he sounds really smart and he's very charismatic, but he's a fucking liar. The point is this: the shit didn't crack like they wanted it to crack, but they still have to hold up this narrative. They still have to push it. So even when the weakest variant ever to be comes into play, and is clearly not nearly as dangerous as the alpha, which wasn't even that dangerous itself. Excuse me. Their plot for complete world domination and control still has to be achieved. So they're going to continue to overblow the effects of this virus, basically. So now they have to get rid of the Nuremberg Code so that they can just all willy-nilly just, hey, we get rid of Nuremberg codes. Look at what else we can do. Oh, it won't be just forced Vaselines to avoid future outbreaks and future pandemics. We're going to have to put certain things in people's drinking water to see how they react to it, and then maybe we do it to a small town, put it in a whale or something, and then or put it in the water tower and see how they react, and then we come in and act like we're coming to rescue them, and we give them the antidote, or we give them, we just got to do some testing. And if the Nuremberg codes are still in place, if we get caught, we're going to have to pay the price. So we need to get rid of the Nuremberg code so that we can perform experiments on people. Because that's what they're doing, right? With these Vaselines. These Vaselines are still in the experimental stages. They're still in the experimental stages. So anyone who takes the Vaseline, whether you're in America or in Europe, you're being experimented on. You are an experiment. You are a lab rat, right? But you have to volunteer for it to a degree. What they'll do is they'll coerce right now, right? They'll tell businesses that they have to check for the Vaseline before you can go to work and all this other shit. That they'll do a little underhanded shit like that. They won't come out and say, yeah, we're gonna come door to door and force this injection on you. They can't do that right now because there are certain things in place. But they'll try to they'll try to turn your job or your business into the enforcement arm of the pharmaceutical industry. But they can't even do that because that shit got shot down in the courts. Got shot down. So their little plan is failing. So we think. We think it's failing. But there's always a gambit. There's always a backup plan. There's always a real plan that they don't want you to know about. So they'll feed you this plan. They'll feed the conspiracy theorists and the truthers this plan. They'll fucking do all the this is why I don't get caught up too much in predictive programming, right? Because if the controllers are implementing predictive programming, they're doing it for a reason, right? Because they want you to find the clues and put shit together, and they want you to connect certain dots, right? So that you can figure out their plan. They want it to be obvious so that when you present it to your audience is like, wow, look at that. Look at all the shit the Simpsons predicted. Why would they do that? Do you think that's the real plan? That's why I don't get caught up in the numerology. I don't get caught up in the predictive programming. Because if they know that people out there are going to put this shit together, and then they're going to tell people, and then they're going to act like, we're censoring the truthers because they're conspiracy theorists, so now we're going to ban them and we're going to put them on a 2-week suspension because they said certain words. It's so obvious that it's so obvious, right? Well, we must be saying something, right? Because they're trying to ban us. Of course, that's what they want us to think. That's what they want us to think. But what's the real fucking plan? I'm concerned about the shit that's not in predictive programming. I'm worried about the shit that you can't figure out with numerology and gematria. That's the shit I'm worried about. The shit that they're doing that they're not going to put out on Front Street. The dots that are out there that they don't want us to connect. Deceive, distract, and divide. That's what they want to do. So they're going to feed us clues. They're going to feed us bullshit. They're going to say, like I said, man, predictive programming. It's the shit that they don't want you to see that you should be worried about. Right? Like the Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's little madam, right? Underage sex slave madam. Why are they hiding her trial? Is it because they know that there are going to be a lot of people named, a lot of elites that are named, that are going to be mentioned in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial? And are they hiding that because they know that we know that that's what's going on? Well, what's really going on with that? Why are they really hiding that? Is it because they don't want us to know which elites are the pedophiles and which aren't? Is it because they don't want us to see the names? Maybe, but I think it goes a little bit beyond that. I think there's a lot more to it than that. I think they're hiding it because they know that you're going to notice that they're hiding it, and they know that you're going to give a lot of energy and attention to them hiding that shit. But what would be a real trip? What would be the real motherfucking of course they blocked the fucking street off. Why not? Fucking bullshit, man. What would be the real jaw dropper? Not the people that she names. What about the people that she won't name? What about them? That's what they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know about the people that are not going to be named in the trial. Because the names are going to get released at some point, right? If she mentions names, they're going to get released. And guess what? These people are just going to be lambs to the slaughter. And that's going to satisfy us, right? Oh, look what happened. Look what's finally released because of the Freedom of Information Act. Oh, they FOIA'd this shit. Look. Check this out. What about the people that aren't on the list? What about the people whose names you won't find in the FOIA request? What was it? What was it? What about, those are the people I'm interested in knowing about. I'm interested in knowing about the Nuremberg Code, them trying to get rid of that shit. And they want us to understand, they want us to think. We want to get rid of the Nuremberg Code so that we can force people to get the Vaseline. Well, what is it about getting rid of the Nuremberg Code? What's the real reason they want us to get rid of the Nuremberg Code? It's not because they want to force people to get the Vaseline. No. It's what they're not saying about why they want to get rid of the Nuremberg Code that I'm concerned about. See what I'm saying? That's just what it is. That's why, look. And at the end of the day, maybe they didn't really expect the Modelo 19 virus to cause that much devastation. Maybe they knew. Maybe they knew it wasn't going to be that devastating. Maybe they knew that Omicron was not going to be a major. The Omicron was not going to be a major problem. Why is it, though, that they want us to believe that they believe that it is such a big deal? What's his name? The Prime Minister of UK. What's his name? Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is acting like the oh my God. We got to get all these people snapped. The oh my God variant. Oh my God, it's not really bad right now, but it could be so much more devastating. But there's enough data coming out of Africa that shows that it's not. Well, they have to know that we know about that data. So why are they presenting this to us? That's the type of shit I want to know. It could be, so they want a reason to continue the lockdowns, to continue the mandates, to continue this, continue that. But what's the other reason? What are the other reasons? It has to be more to it than that, right? Because this is what they're showing us. They're showing it to us for a reason. They control media. There's so much shit they control. They control it. Come on now. We had to, listen. I'm telling y'all. It's the shit that they're not telling us about. It's the shit they're not showing us. It's the shit that's not in the programming. There's shit that's not in the numerology charts. It's the shit that you can't find out with geometria that I'm concerned about. I'm reading a couple comments. I gotta go hit the exercise shit. Shana Cloud says they have scheduled 27 injections. That's over 10 years of injections. Oh, that's correct. Oh, 47? 47 injections. Yeah, that's right. I can explain a good deal of other stuff that's not apparent if you want to talk to me in Discord. Yeah, I'll holler at you. Trump is either going to wire her some money or have wire put around her neck. Who knows? The health minister of Africa was saying we don't have any problems here. Shut up about the oh my God. He had the balls to say that. Claire Thompson says cannot believe how easily so many fell for this. Yeah, it's real shit. Oh, that's what's up, Queen's Throne. Queen's Throne in the building. Y'all go check her out. She has really great content on her YouTube channel. Shauna Cloud says, I only like to eat fruit bats because they're big and juicy. Yes, they are. Because they eat a lot of fruit. Nicolette Moore, how you doing? Rashard Givens was good. Remember what they said about CV really stood for? What's that, Nicolette Moore? They're going to do it all over. The conspiracy theorists told us that in 2020. Yeah, we told you everything. We told you everything. We told you everything that they wanted us to tell you. So what is it that they don't want us to tell you? What's the deal with that? Actually just finished a live. Oh, you did? About to grocery shop. Oh, you have a channel? L78? Tanya D was good. Is it 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Yeah, just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, that's all. Yeah. What I think about mass mandate in Cali? Yeah, it's stupid. Bakari Akil Bay was good. Peace I'm tapping in from Inglewood. Was good, bro. I was born in Inglewood. All right, guys. Let me get out of here. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Look, man. What is it that they don't want us to know? What is it that they aren't showing us through predictive programming and through numerology? What is it that we don't know? Something's coming, and there's no way to predict it. These people are very crafty, so it's always best to be prepared for anything. right? Be prepared for anything. And that's why I always talk about self-sufficiency. That's why I talk about land ownership. That's why I talk about all that shit. And guess what? They're buying up all the land. They're continuing to buy land up. You know what I'm saying? People, y'all need to buy land. That's my goal by the end of next year. Have me some land. No nonsense, Stucky was good. Oh, it is ugly out here. That's why I'm getting the fuck out of here, Bakari. I'm out of here. I'm moving to the southeast, bro. I'm done. That tornado's going to drive up price of ground. Of course. But here's the key. Here's the thing. You don't need grains. You don't need to eat grains. There's no grains are not essential to a human diet. Just so y'all know. Yeah, we can live without grains. Y'all better raise some chickens, get you a couple goats, maybe a cow or two. You know what I'm saying? And then, build some relationships with other farmers and ranchers that have shit that you don't have, and you have shit that they don't have, or you provide a service. Make use. Start to learn how to barter and trade, and use your services to get what you need. You know what I'm saying? Build that network, or you're gonna be screwed. So that's, for me, it shouldn't really matter what they have planned. We should be prepared for it by being self-sufficient. That's all you can do. Because when they cut your ass off, you got to be equipped to still survive. It's here, bro. That's right. Stay ready. So you ain't got, exactly. Cows are really low maintenance and easy to, yeah. Yeah. And you don't need a lawnmower if you have cows, chickens, goats, pigs. You don't need they'll eat all the grass. They'll keep the grass real nice and low for you. And they won't tear the grass out of the ground because they want more to grow. So trust me, these are things that you want. You don't have to necessarily have them for a slaughter, right? Grow you some collards, some spinach, some things like that. Easy shit that can grow year round. Do what you got to do. But I got to get out of here. Much love, like, share, subscribe. And you can use the goats for milk. You can use the cows for milk, chickens for eggs, quail. Quail is a good source of eggs. They will shoot out a lot more eggs than chickens will. And even though they're smaller eggs, they'll still shoot out enough eggs to more than make up for the size. And they'll give you more eggs than chickens will, altogether. You're afraid of chickens? Girl, bye. Anyway, you better get you a chicken or 2 or 3 or 4. And get you some quail and all that good shit. Anyway, much love, guys. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Share this out, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.